You shouldn't have made an Oreo joke at Chris Christie's fundraiser.
What's the Oreo joke?
Come on, man.
What's this?
Chris is your friend.
You think what? You thought that was not appropriate?
Well, I just don't think you should have made an Oreo joke to Chris Christie. He's
I have a question. I have a question, Joe. Okay. Donald, we had former Defense Secretary and CIA Director Robert Gates on the show yesterday. I'm going to play for you a bit of what he had to say. He had concerns about both candidates, you and Hillary Clinton. Take a listen.
I think they are especially apprehensive about the unpredictability and the threats of Mr. Trump. And some of the things he said, from having Japan and South Korea have nuclear weapons to breaking off the relationship with China and so on and so forth. These are all of serious concern. And the problem, the worry is that even before the election, countries begin to take steps to offset these dangers or these perceived shifts in U.S. policy in ways that put greater distance between ourselves and them in terms of cooperation in the future.
And, Donald, I want to know what you think of those comments.
Well, the comments are wrong because he knows nothing about me. He knows nothing about what I said. I'm not a big fan of his, by the way, because you take a look at two things. Look at where our country is with years of him being involved. We are a mess, number one. I know he has a great reputation and all of that. All of these guys have a great reputation. They've been doing this stuff for 15 years. Look where our country is, okay? We need a new group with better thinking. Number two, as far as Japan and South Korea are concerned, all I'm saying is we defend them. They are paying us a tiny fraction of what it's costing. I want them to pay. I would love to continue to defend Japan. I would love to continue to defend South Korea. We have 28,000 soldiers on the line between North and South Korea right now. It is costing us an absolute fortune, which we don't have. We're a debtor nation. I would like them to pay up. They have a lot of money, both of those nations. We take in Japan's cars by the millions. South Korea sells us every time you buy television.
You don't have a problem with the troops staying there. You just want Japan and South Korea to pay us for our presence. I want them to pay up.
Because we are not a country. This isn't 40 years ago and 20 years ago.
Right.
We are not a country that can afford to defend Saudi Arabia, Germany, the NATO nations, 28 NATO nations, many of which are not paying us and they're not living up to their agreement. Japan, South Korea, nobody. We're like the dummies that protect everybody. All I'm saying is we have to get reimbursed because we can't afford it.
But Donald,
and nobody says that. And Bob Gates, who I don't know at all, but Bob Gates has no idea. See, they're misrepresenting, and he's misrepresenting.
Bob Gates is one of the greatest foreign policy minds in history.
Oh, really?
And I think
Why? Because we're doing so well? You mean you think
Donald,
we're doing well with his foreign policy, Mika?
I think the worry also is just how you will be as president and present your positions and your words. And there are some concerns that you might be trigger happy with your words. Like, for example...
Oh, really? I'm the one that didn't want to go into Iraq, Mika.
I'm even talking about, for example, the tweet that you sent out yesterday morning.
What's wrong with them?
I will tell you what some might say.
Go ahead.
That it was very much generating hatred, focusing on the hatred and fear that terrorism brings to the American people.
But I
and
said
maybe
another
perhaps
plane
that
was blown
first
up,
tweet.
and I can practically guarantee who blew it up. And another plane went down.
Donald, listen to yourself right now.
The mindset of a weak Hillary Clinton, which is 4 more years of Obama, is not going to do it for our country, Mika.
Yeah, and I'm asking you if there is any, perhaps, backing here to the concern that a lot of what you say is focused on hatred and fear and sort of generating more anger and churning it up. And perhaps, for example, that tweet, maybe you might have thought of the families that were suffering first.
Let me tell you what I'm thinking of. I'm thinking of the future. We cannot continue to let things like this happen. We are being taken advantage of by radical Islamic terrorists, and this world is changing. And another couple of planes go down, Mika, and you're going to have a depression worldwide, the likes of which you've never seen, because nobody's going to travel. There will be no anything. There will be no communication between countries, and you will have a problem the likes of which you've never seen. And I will tell you, 4 more years of a weak Hillary Clinton, and that's what she is, 4 more years of that, It will not work. It will not work. And all I did is point it out. And and when you find out what happened to the plane, it will be exactly what I said. That plane didn't go down because of mechanical failure.
Right.
I'm not saying it did.
Yeah, right. Speaking of not working, let's go to the guy who, when I'm not working 90% of the time,
He's just walking
is like in
around.
charge. I just kind of walk around.
Nice, a good segue. Hey, Donald, it's Willie. Good to talk
Hi,
to you
Willie.
this morning.
Hi.
Want to ask you about something you said last night at Chris Christie's fundraiser, which is, quote,